Hello everyone, we will continue the topic ABAP on HANA and we are covering the various features or core concepts of SAP HANA, and as a part of that we covered in-memory computing, we covered OLAP and OLTP integration, we covered row and column storage, we covered data compression, we covered table partitioning, we covered insert only on delta, and in this video we will cover the another core concept or feature, that is simplified data models. Now what is simplified data models? It is another key feature of SAP HANA which covers the redesigning of the structure of that data. You all know very well what is data model. Data model means structure of that data. Now SAP is saying simplified data model. If SAP is going for simplified data model, it means SAP has to redesign the structure of that data. SAP has to redesign the existing structure of that data because SAP is going for simplified data models. So simplified data models is another key feature of SAP HANA which covers the redesigning of the structure of that data. Now, how this simplified data model is achieved in SAP HANA? This simplified data models is achieved in SAP HANA by focusing on below aspects. Now, what are those aspects? First one is merging of tables, and the second one is avoidance of aggregate table. SAP HANA achieved this simplified data models by working on these two aspects. First one is merging of tables and the second one is avoidance of aggregate table. Once the topic will proceed, you will automatically realize how the data model is simplified. So we'll start with our first point, or we can say first aspect, that is merging of tables. Now, what is this merging of tables? Word itself is saying we will merge that table. But we have 2 points here. Now, in this aspect, SAP added the fields of one table into another table. Suppose we have two tables. So SAP added the fields of one table into another table. This is one case. But we have another case also. SAP created a new table and added the fields of multiple tables to that table. We have two cases here. First case is SAP simply added the fields of one table to another table. Done. Now, what is second case? In the second case, SAP created a new table and added the fields of multiple tables into that new table. Once the topic will proceed, you will realize so many interview questions. When I appeared for the interview, when I appeared for SAP HANA certification, at that time, these questions were there in the certification as well as in the interview also. So in merging of tables, we have two things. One case is SAP simply adding the fields of one table to another table. Done. But in the second case, SAP is creating a new table in SAP HANA and adding the fields of multiple tables to that particular new table. Now we will go for the multiple examples of the same, and so many important things will come down. Now, what are the various examples? So we will go for our first important example. VBUK and VBUP tables. Now, what is this VBUK and VBUP tables? In these tables, the sales order status is getting stored. Sales order, header sales orders, header status is in VBUK. Sales order item status is in VBUP tables. Now SAP is going for simplification of data models. So what SAP did? The sales order status table VBUK and VBUP are no longer in use. Now, whenever you will go for SAP S4 HANA system, whenever you have S4 HANA system, VBUK and VBUP table are no longer in use. We will not use these tables. Now, the question is in everyone's mind, if we will not use this table, then where is the status of sales order header and item? They are simply added to the VBAK and VBAP table. Now you can realize how SAP HANA is going for simplification of data model. Previously you have VBUK, VBUP separate tables in which you have the status of sales order header and item. Now SAP is saying no, I'm adding the fields to VBAK and VBAP itself. Just take it from VBAK and VBAP. Yes. So this is our first thing. SAP added the fields of one table into another table. SAP has not created a new table. SAP simply added the fields of one table to another table. Now for the best clarity, what I will do, I will firstly go to ECC system, then I will go for S4 HANA system. If you do not have the knowledge of ECC and S4 HANA system, no problem. You can simply go for basics and basics of SAP and ABAP playlist. There we have detailed two videos on ECC and S4 HANA system. Anyways, there is no issue at this point of time. You can understand because whatever is required, I will explain in this video also. And anyways, whenever this particular playlist will proceed, same video I need to keep into this particular playlist also, because once the practical will start, everyone should know that they are going for S4 HANA system to do the practical or ECC system to do the practical. Now we'll go for this particular point. We'll see in the system. So firstly, I will go for ECC system. I have both the systems, ECC and S4 HANA. This is ECC system. Now I will show you this VBUK and VBUP tables. This is ECC system. It means in this system, these tables are in use. They are not in use in S4 HANA system because SAP is simplifying the data models. So if SAP is going for simplification of data models, so SAP is merging the tables, yes. Suppose if I will go for SC11 transaction code, you can see we have a VBAK table. This is our sales order. This is sales order header table. Now I will go for VBAP. This is our VBAP. This is our sales order item table. This is our sales document item table. Now, if I will go for VBUK and VBUP, you can see we have VBUK. This VBUK is sales document header status. If I will go for VBUP, VBUP. Now, this is sales order item status. Now suppose if I will go for now one sales order. I'll take one sales order. Suppose I will take 33. I'll take another one. No problem. Yes. Suppose I will take 4969. So this is our sales order. This is our header data. This is our item data for this sales order. Now, if I want to check the status, I need to go to VBUK and VBUP table. Suppose if I will go for VBUK, so this table has the header status and this table has the item status. So in EC system, yes, the sales order header status and sales order item status are in VBUK and VBUP table. So just see, whenever we will go for any writing of the code and if we want the status, we need to go to VBUK also, we need to go to VBUP if we want item status also. But SAP is saying, I'm simplifying the data models for you and I'm adding the status fields into VBAK and VBAP itself. It means there is no need to go to this VBUK and VBUP table in S4 HANA system. Now just see if I will go for S4 HANA system and you will realize. Then I will compare and show you. This is S4 HANA system. If you want a detailed understanding what is S4 HANA system and what is system, just refer to the basics of SAP and ABAP playlist. Anyways, at this point of time, our target is just to understand this. Now, suppose if I will go to VBAK table, I will show you. This is VBAK table. If I will display this table, you can see this is sales document header table. And just see here itself, you will realize in this S4 HANA system, in VBAK table, see how many column? 268. Now, if I will show you easy system, this is easy system. In VBAK table, have you seen we have how many column? 176. Now, if I will show you VBAP, this is our S4 HANA system. If I will go to this VBAP table in S4 HANA system, now you can see we have 493 columns. Now, if you see here in VBAP, in EC system, this is ECC, you can see 428. It means more columns are there in VBAP also. Now I will show you VBUK and VBUP. Now if I will go for VBUK and VBUP, this is my S4 HANA system. This is VBUK. If I will display, this is VBUK table and this is VBUP table. We'll go into detail because people will say, you are showing the same table in S4 HANA system, then what is the understanding? Now I will go for this S4 HANA system. This S4 HANA system. Suppose I am taking one sales order. It is in VBAK table. Yes. Header data. Yes. Now this sales order 1 is in item table. I am putting sales order 1 in item table. Done. So this is the item data. It will show the item data. This is the item data. Now I'm putting sales order 1 in this VBUK and VBUP. And if I will execute, have you seen there's no data in VBUK? Because VBUK is no longer in use in S4 HANA system. Now, if I will go for VBUP, this is VBUP. If I will put 1 here, there is no data in VBUK and VBUP. Now, if you want the status, you just check in VBAK and VBAP table itself. Suppose if I will go for VBAK, this is VBAK. VBAK. In this table itself, we have the status because the field is added to this table itself. If I will go for status, if I will simply go for next, I'll just give you the clarity. Now you can see if I will go for next, if I will go for next, if I will go for next, okay, I'll just check the field name so that you can understand better. This is VBUK. Suppose in VBUK table, the status is suppose I will go for this RFSTK. I'll check into this table, VBAK. If I will go for Control F, have you seen the status column is added to this VBAK table itself? Suppose if I will go for VBUP, this is VBUP. Now this is the status. Suppose I will check this column RFSTA. It is now added to VBAP table itself. Now if I will go to this VBAP table, if I will do Control F here, have you seen it is available here. So there is no need to go to VBUK and VBUP table. SAP added their fields of those tables into VBAK and VBAP itself. Why we should go for now VBUK and VBUP table itself? Because everything is added here. That's why you are able to see more columns in S4 HANA system in VBAK and VBAP table. So this is the most I can say major example of simplified data model. Just see in EC system. If I will go for EC system, this is EC system. Now, if you see in VBAK table, this RFSTK is not here because this is EC system. In EC system, we have VBUK and VBUP are the status table. Status are there. But in S4 HANA system, SAP simply merge those two tables, the fields of those two tables into VBAK and VBAP itself. Suppose if in EC system, I will go for this VBAP table. Suppose if I will go for Control F and check, it is not here because we have a separate table in EC system. Yes, separate table in S4 HANA system also, but there's no data there because now SAP merged everything into that particular VBAK and VBAP tables itself. So what is the summary of this particular video? Extremely important video from the interview perspective because we covered one of the most important example. Now, what do you mean by simplified data models? It means SAP is restructuring the structure of that data because SAP is simplifying that data model. And how SAP HANA is simplifying the data model or how it is achieved in SAP HANA by focusing on 2 points. First one, merge the tables. Second one, avoid the aggregate tables. Now, whenever we go for merging of tables, there are two things. SAP is merging the fields of one table into another table. Second is SAP is creating a new table and then SAP is merging the fields of those table into one table. So firstly, we covered the example of VBUK and VBUP. Here, SAP has not created a new table. Only the fields of one table is added to another table. Now, in S4 HANA system, there are no longer use of VBUK and VBUP tables. Now the question is in everyone's mind, if they are no longer in use, then where is the status? It is in VBAK and VBAP tables itself. And I showed you in S4 HANA system, yes, in VBAK and VBAP table itself, we have the header status and item status. But in EC system, yes, we have separate tables for this header status and item status. And just see, this is one of the best example of simplification of data model. Previously, you have 4 tables. Now you have 2 tables itself. Yes. Now the question is in everyone's mind. If they are no longer in use, then why they are still available in S4 HANA system? Those questions will be answered in the upcoming videos. And next video is very important. These questions I found in my interview exam also, in my certification exam also. In the next video, we will cover MATDOC and ACDOCA table because they are the new created tables in S4 HANA. Yes, if you do not have knowledge of EC system and S4 HANA system, no problem, because our major target is to understand the concept. If you still want what is EC system, what is S4 HANA system, so you can refer to the playlist of basics of SAP and ABAP. In the next video, we'll cover these 2 tables. So that's it in this video. Thank you.